about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Around the YouTube, it is Charles here, and today I want to talk about Deadly Tales of Gunslinger, number 7, from Image Comics, part of the Spawn universe. And I'm going to be honest with you, I recorded a review of this book right after I read it, and I erased it. I did not like the review. I tried to give a point-by-point cookie-cutter review, something that I don't do on this channel. I usually just ramble and give my perspective personally on it and what I personally gleaned from it. And after giving it some thought, I realized this story is really lore building to Gunslinger Spawn in a deeper way. It is really a story of atonement and making up for past sins. And I really, really enjoyed it. In the last review I did of number 6, we talked about where the plot was, where he was being pursued by this female Native American warrior, who we find out later whose mission in life was to kill him over something that happened in his childhood. And here we explore what happened. He was taken in by the army after his parents, after he was orphaned, and he was manipulated by an army captain into taking part in the slaughter of a Native American village. And all of these years later, the only person left in that village was coming for him. And we find out that this person is alive because, as a boy, Tobias, before he became Gunslinger Spawn, spared her life. And I thought that that was interesting. I think he probably thought that he was being magnanimous or, helping, but the type of trauma that you would get from seeing everybody you know and love slaughtered, and you left alive, that's just as cruel. And we find out, like I said, we flash back to his childhood, to him doing these horrible things, and then being celebrated afterwards by this captain. But then, in a very emotional scene, he goes out to the graveyard to pay respects for the men they lost. And he finds out via another soldier who is mentally distraught that it was all a ruse, that they were manipulated, that these men that they were taking revenge for were killed by the captain himself in order to give the rest of his men a reason to go after this Native American tribe. And I'm not going to go into too much more detail because I want to leave you something to read and to enjoy. But let's just say through a guardian angel, she is stopped from killing him long enough to hear his side of the story. And at the end of the book, she kind of gives him a choice, but not really. Let's see, the last page here, she talks about, I heard your story. Now now do what you promised and unite and untie me. Do you know where this man Lane is now? And then Gunslinger lets her know that he's still with the military. She punches him. And she says, as long as he is alive, we both have a job to finish. And Gunslinger says, together? Just the two of us against an entire army? And in the last panel, you see him riding off together, and he says, why the hell not? And so I like this. It's a redemptive arc. It gives more into his childhood, his history, what made him the man he was before he became a Spawn. And, getting to know where a lot of this empathy and conscience that he is well known for in this current series comes from. It's the early development of a character we get to know now through the modern story, and I really dig it. I think that number 7 is an issue that if you're looking to jump into this issue, it's a great start. Yeah, you don't need any preamble to get what's going on. And it looks like we're going to be starting an exciting new arc Who knows how long it's gonna be running? But if you're into westerns and you're into action, definitely check this out. And I love that the Native American character is not tropey, they're not stereotypical. They are written from a place of appreciation and knowledge and are not just plot devices. And so I personally really enjoyed seeing the representation of that culture as well. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. And there are other things that happen in this issue, bigger things having to do with the more supernatural side of this story as well that I didn't even touch on. So check this out, a local comic book store. And if you do not have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friends at Coffee and a Comic. They ship nationwide. Have probably the second easiest website to order from in all of the country. At least that's what I've experienced. Great prices, great service. But if you're in Wyoming, check out my friends at Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment, located in the Eastridge Mall in Casper, Wyoming. If you're in Wyoming and you order over $35 worth of books, they will ship them in state for free. So give them a try, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.